Hey guys, welcome back to my channel today. We're going to be talking about things and items around your home that you should be disinfecting that maybe you aren't even realizing. So I want to make sure that you guys are cleaning your surfaces before you attempt to disinfect or sanitize. So by doing the cleaning step, I like to use my multi-surface spray. Whichever cleaner you prefer to use is totally fine. And then next you can move on to sanitize and disinfect. Now sanitize removes some germs, but not all, whereas disinfecting completely removes germs and viruses. This is my DIY disinfectant. This is the Lysol Kills 99.9% all-purpose cleaner. Now you can use this as a spray cleaner and then as a sanitizer or a disinfectant. Make sure you're reading the instructions on the back because this needs to sit for a certain amount of time before you wipe away to actually do its job. The same thing with the wipes, which I wasn't aware of until I read this today. You need to use the wipes and wet the surface of whatever you're disinfecting, and it needs to remain wet with the wipe for 4 minutes to do its job. So make sure that you're using enough wipes. You're not just rubbing a dry wipe on your item and then it's not being cleaned like you think it is. Hydrogen peroxide is a great thing. It's kind of hard to find, but it's a lot easier to find than alcohol these days. I like to use it to clean things like maybe the toilet or the washing machine. And then lastly we have hand sanitizer. Now we really only use hand sanitizer in the car because we don't have any other reason to in our home. First thing I wanted to mention about disinfecting is the kitchen sink or the bathroom sink or any other sink you have that people will be touching to wash their hands. Now normally after I do the dishes I clean the sink with soap and water, but here I'm just gonna show you to clean your surface first and then wipe it down, and then you can spray it with your sanitizer or your disinfectant.
I get too drunk and too scared and lie to you. If only you knew I would die for you. One of us gotta say the obvious. Nobody loves me better. Nobody loves me better.
After your surface is clean, you can go ahead and choose your disinfectant. Here I'm going to use the Lysol spray, but you can also use the wipes, or you can use your DIY disinfectant, which is a bottle filled up 75% alcohol, and then I topped it off with grapefruit infused vinegar. It kind of masks the smell of the alcohol a little bit, not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot you can do about the alcohol smell. So you just thoroughly wet your surface with the spray, and then the directions for cleaning are just to leave it for 2 seconds and then wipe. For sanitizing it's 10 seconds, and for disinfecting it's 2 minutes. So you leave it sitting on your surface for 2 minutes and then you come back and you wipe it down. For food contact surfaces it recommends washing it away with water or rinsing it with water. So here, instead of wiping out the sink, I just rinsed it down with hot water, and because there's no food getting on the handles, I didn't rinse those off. And I know that by food contact surfaces, they mean where you will be eating food off of, like maybe preparing food on a counter or something, but I just wanted to explain that we don't intend to eat out of the sink.
Stay here, no, ain't gonna keep it low now. If you wanna go, let's go. Let's wrap it up and hit the road. I just got an awesome vibe, striking the winner post now. Liberty's on my mind. We've taken off, we've left the ground. You gotta understand that we get one chance, one chance. You will never regret the things that we'll do. 'Cause by the lakeside. Gonna do it while we're young. In a moment it will.
Up next, we're going to be disinfecting kitchen scrubbers. Now, I don't know what kind you have. I have the silicone kind, so it can be boiled to remove germs and bacteria. The typical kitchen sponge, there's really not a lot you can do. I know some articles online say that you can put it in the microwave or you can put it in your dishwasher, but it really does not kill germs like you think it does. And you can look up research on that as well. So I swapped out my regular kitchen sponges for silicone kitchen sponges, and I like them a lot better, mostly for the fact that you can boil them clean. So what I'm doing here is I'm just filling a pot with water, putting it on the stove, and putting my scrubbers into the pot, and this is my straw cleaner, so I put that in there as well because it's metal. I don't put my bottle brush in there because I'm not sure if I can, and I haven't looked that up, but I will definitely be looking into that. I wait until the water comes to a complete boil, and then I let them boil for a good 10 minutes before I remove them from the water. And then this is all the yuckiness that came out of the sponges. You never know what's hiding in there, I guess. So up next are things that you might forget to sanitize after you get home from running to the store or something. I had just got home from getting a red box, so even though I didn't actually come in contact with anybody, there's things that you might forget, such as your debit or credit card, because you're putting your card into the credit card machine after somebody else had already put theirs in it. So you're basically just collecting the germs that were on their card without even realizing it. You also want to make sure that you wipe down your keys really well. Mine usually stay in my pocket because it's just a key fob, but because I'm just trying to be cautious, I wipe them down every time I get home. Now this is just a Sephora card rather than my actual bank card, but it's just to show you to wipe yours down. And I don't usually bring my wallet with me. I usually just take the card that I need. But if you do bring your wallet or your purse, make sure you wipe that down where you may have touched it or set it down somewhere inside a store or a shopping cart or something, just to make sure it's nice and clean. And then before and after I rinse everything off, I like to wash my hands just so I'm not transferring any germs. Now this seems excessive, but it's only when I go someplace. I don't do things like this with normal everyday items. And when we get home and I put the food away and juice and stuff, there are certain things that I do wipe down with a wipe, or I wash in the sink with soap and water, like juice bottles or anything else that's hard plastic. I don't really worry about the cardboard boxes for snacks and stuff, but anything that's plastic or an actual item that we bought, like a toy, I will wipe that down and disinfect it, because I've seen people in stores stocking shelves coughing and things all over it, and then never occurs to you the kind of thing that you might want to clean when you bring it home until something like this happens. And then a thing that I myself often forget to disinfect is my Fitbit. A lot of times I forget to even put it on, but then when I put it on, I don't like to take it off because then I always forget to put it back on. So go ahead and disinfect your Apple Watch or your Fitbit or whatever it is. And then the game controllers, because the kids play with them all day long, and then I play with them and my husband plays with them. And just they're being passed back and forth between everybody. It's a breeding ground for all kinds of germs. So even though nobody in our home is sick, I like to make sure we're going to stay that way. So I wipe everything down. This is our one of my son's tablets. Then it's a touch screen, so you want to make sure you're cleaning that. Now your cell phone like touches your face and things like that, but this, you put your hands all over. You want to make sure you get the power button really well, because everybody obviously touches that to use it. And just things like that. Things like the TV remote. I don't show it here because they were using the TV, but make sure you wipe that down as well, because again, it's a hot surface for people to be using constantly without you realizing that, maybe I should clean that. Next, we're going to move on to the bathroom, and I'm sure there are plenty of surfaces in here that you're well aware need to be disinfected, but I'm going to go ahead and show you anyway. So obviously you want to make sure that your cleaning and disinfecting. So like I said, you want to spray everything clean first. So you can use the Lysol spray to clean and then spray it again to disinfect. I like to use spray cleaner, and in general I like to use Clorox or Lysol wipes because you can throw them away. But because they're so hard to find these days, I want to make sure that we have enough left, so it's a lot easier for me to spray the toilet and then wipe it down. And this rag is specifically used just for the toilet. We never use it to wash anything else in the house.
I got this feeling like it's starting now, starting now. I feel adventurous with you. And there is nothing that
And then I'm going to go ahead and use a disinfectant. You can use Lysol or Clorox, whatever you have on hand. Just make sure that it is specifically for disinfecting. You're not looking for antibacterial, you want disinfectant. And make sure, like I said, the directions say for this product that whatever you're disinfecting has to remain wet for 4 minutes. So you need to use enough wipes that you're getting your surface wet with the solution and it's not drying as the wipe goes, because you can only there's only so much liquid in the wipe. So make sure that you have a fresh one as needed. Now with the Clorox toilet wand, you need to make sure you read the directions. I see a lot of people use this and they don't do it correctly. You need to clean your toilet bowl and then leave the product in there for 10 minutes. A lot of people I see use it and then they just flush it as soon as they're done brushing, assuming that their toilet is clean and disinfected, but you have to let the product sit for 10 minutes or more to actually disinfect your toilet. Now I do prefer to use disposable cloths on the toilet. I am using the Lysol spray right now just so that we kind of conserve the disposable cloths that we have on hand, just because they're so hard to find in stores. I'm also going to be using the steam mop to disinfect the entire bathroom floor, which I love the steam mop. I talk about it every single video when I'm cleaning because it's so easy to use. It just uses water and it's just the best thing ever. Do you use a steam mop? Now there's lots of other things that you could be disinfecting. I don't show everything on here, but there's all the light switches in your home that everybody touches without even a second thought. All the doorknobs and the door handles entering and the doorknobs in your home. You want to make sure that you're either spraying those and letting the product sit for the recommended amount of time, or you're disinfecting them with a Lysol spray. We don't use Lysol spray in our home because of the fumes. It's just really toxic and I don't want to use something like that. But if that's something that you choose to use for your family, that's totally fine, and go ahead and spray those doorknobs and handles and everything. You also want to make sure that you're washing. I like to wash the pillowcases at least, even if I don't wash all the bedding, because the pillowcases just get the brunt of all the bacteria when you're sleeping on it. So I wash them either every 5 days or at least once a week, and then just swap them out with fresh ones. I also right now have the bathroom rugs in a wash with hot water, detergent, and hydrogen peroxide to kill any germs, just because bath mats usually remain wet for a little while, and that's the perfect breeding ground for bacteria. So I like to pour them in a wash with hot water and then add about a cup of hydrogen peroxide, let the wash agitate a little bit, and then shut it off so that it can sit for about a half hour, and then I turn it on and let it run its normal cycle, and then I hang them to dry, and they come out nice and clean.
Looking back at the good times before it all went down, climbed right up on the hillside, a different view of my life.
Now here I've just used the Lysol spray to disinfect the handles and inside the sink, but it's also, like I said, easier to use the Clorox or Lysol wipes. Again, trying to minimize the amount of wipes that we use until I can locate some more and feel a little bit better about using them regularly on things like the faucets rather than just spraying them down. Are you guys having a hard time finding cleaning wipes and disinfectants where you are too? Let me know. So right here I'm disinfecting toothbrushes with hydrogen peroxide. I had never done this before the whole COVID-19 situation. We would buy new toothbrushes. So here I'm just pouring it in a bin, putting the toothbrush heads in, and you wouldn't believe the amount of stuff that you can't see with the naked eye just like gets broken up by hydrogen peroxide. It's crazy. And then afterward I just boil some water and soak them in that, and then when I take it out of that, I pour boiling water over them, over the sink, to really clean them off. What I do for my car, I keep my face mask hanging here so that it's always in reach and it's not getting dirty or trampled on, and then if anybody comes for a ride in the car, nobody's touching it. Down here in the cup holder, I keep a container of these that I just happened to find at Walmart a couple weeks ago. I like that these remove dirt and germs at the same time, so you don't need to clean first and then disinfect second. You can do it all at the same time. And I'll use this like around the steering wheel and on like the start button for the car, or maybe like on the knobs and things like that, just things that everybody touches. Like when my husband drives or the kids are in the car, I don't want them touching things when they're changing the channel on the radio. And then I keep these in here. We have a spray, this hand sanitizer gel, and then a smaller one that's small enough so you can bring it into the store if you want to. And then I just refill these gels with the larger one that I keep at home. And then at home we have like 2 pumps, one in the bathroom, one in the kitchen with hand sanitizer gel, but we rarely use them because we're always washing our hands because we have soap and water in the house. So yeah, make sure you're disinfecting things like this and the knobs on here. This is a touch screen, so I wipe that down. All the buttons on here, the wiper wand here. This is one of the tough spots for me, is the handle when I climb into the car, because I'm very careful. I like open the door with my pinky so that I don't touch it with fingers that I use to pick up items in the store. But then I always grab right here to close the door before I sanitize. So I make sure that this spot I always get really, really good with the sanitizing. So yeah, so just keep an eye on what you touch next time you get in and out of your car, and then you'll know what you should be cleaning as well. Also, things like Redbox movies, like I said earlier in my what to disinfect portion. You don't know who else has touched this when they rented it for their own home, and if they cleaned it or if they're sanitizing their hands or what's going on. So you want to make sure that you, as soon as you get it, my kids like to hold it for the ride home if they come with me, so I always wipe it down with one of those wipes, or I spray it with hand sanitizer spray. Or if you use Lysol spray, that's a good option too, because you can just spray it on there. You don't actually have to wipe it and make sure you get every spot. You can just spray it. But you want to make sure that you're disinfecting this. And I always open up the cover and disinfect, because obviously people are touching that. So you wipe down the outside, and then you get home and your kids go to put it in the Blu-ray player and they're touching an area on the device that you haven't disinfected because you only did the outside. So make sure you do that. And again, your debit card or your credit card that you use to purchase a Redbox. We get Redbox all the time. This movie, The Turning, was awful. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It looked like nice and scary on the preview, but it turned out to be very much of a letdown at the end. It just is one of those movies that just kind of ended, and that was really disappointing. I hate when movies do that. Have you seen this? Did you like it? Am I missing something? Like, it just, I don't really know what happened at the end. But if you've seen this and you can enlighten me in any way, please do so in the comments, because I feel very disappointed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helps you out in some way and makes you really go throughout your day and think about things that you want to be disinfecting from now on. And please let me know in the comments if I missed anything, or if there's anything else that you think would be a good idea for other people to know that they should be disinfecting. Please leave a comment. I hope you're all staying safe and healthy, and most importantly, staying home if you're able. We stay home as often as we can, but either myself or my husband won't go to the store when we need food or other supplies like that, but usually it's just once a week. We have 3 little boys at home, and so we've been doing a lot of family game nights and watching movies, and like I said, going to Redbox and getting new stuff when it comes out. So if you have any suggestions on maybe what you guys are up to with all this time at home, and other than cleaning, of course, what are you guys up to when you're at home and not doing schooling or anything like that? Because right now it's April vacation for my kids, so they're not really doing any schoolwork. So we're just trying to enjoy ourselves, have some nice family time. What are you all up to? Let me know in the comments. Always looking for some fun stuff to do. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.
Like it is, bend open my heart like you're fearless. Steal all the gold you can get. Show me your love, leave me breathless.